Yeah, here we go.
Chicka, chicka. Yeah.
Kill Bill and Rev. We don't suck.
Zebra urethra.
I don't believe it. I don't believe what you're saying to me. I think sometimes you just say stuff, man, and it's like you just don't really realize the impact of what you're saying, what you mean as a man. I'm talking to you as a man.
You know what? Actually, I wanted to say something. Like, I was revisiting a bunch of podcasts from like early on when we started the We Don't Suck podcast.
When we were young boys.
When we were kids, we hand painted strawberries on a swing, and it was cool, like, to see that, you know, I seemed alive sometimes. And so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just trying to wake myself up because we're not recording at the usual time that we'd record. Mm-hmm. We're actually recording closer to the time we'd record back then. Back when we first started the podcast.
See, the power shift is going to be very apparent here because in the morning when I record, which is like your afternoon, I am not at full power. I am at my weakest when I first wake up. People might think I'm stupid, which, I mean, you're entitled to that opinion. My math teacher was, but I just got to say, now I've had my coffee. I've had 2 cups of coffee. I've been out. I am awake, alive, alert, enthusiastic. So much so that I feel like I'm on a manic binge. You know, I did a lot of cocaine today, Rav. That's where I'm at mentally. And you are sleepy. You're a sleepy Joe Biden over here, you know?
I'm definitely not sleepy. And in fact, I think I do have a little bit more energy than I would otherwise have. This hour is also, the later it gets, the more energy I usually get. That being said, it's so hot out today. It's about like 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's just a lot. It's so hot. My apartment does not have an AC unit.
Oh, fuck that.
So it's, yeah, so it is like I'm feeling sweaty spaghetti right now, you know, swampy wompy.
We're kind of in the same boat though, but the difference is that I have like a window unit in this room that I can turn off when I record this, so it won't, you won't hear in the background. But
right.
It's been on, but I just turned it off like 20 minutes ago, and it's already a little hot in here because it's like super duper hot. You remember how South Carolina is. It's I don't know what the exact temperature is, but it's definitely it's probably a little hotter than where you're at right now. But
fuck off.
But I've had the luxury of having a little bit of AC in here. The door's shut. Some of that cold air is still trapped in here. By the end of this session, though, I'm going to be really sweaty and gross. That's usually how it goes. At the sesh. By the end of this cast. Sesh.
Yeah, by the end of this cast. Actually, it's actually colder where you are right now than it is in London right now.
Yeah, bullshit. We have a heat index, bro.
I'm looking at on my phone. I've got the weather app pulled up.
What's the heat index right now?
Bro, you think I fucking even understand the words? Okay,
literally no one cares. Absolutely no one cares about the weather.
It's a dry heat. Like I think saying the phrase "it's a dry heat" is like just a super white thing to say. Like, oh, it's a dry heat. You know what I mean? It sounds like
I don't know. I mean,
man.
I kind of understand what you're saying. You're just saying basically
that's a dry
like, oh, it's not
heat.
as...
Do you know what I mean? Have you ever heard someone say that before?
Well, yeah, it's a common saying. It isn't like it's not as it's not. It
sounds
very humid
Caucasian
heat.
to me, is what I'm saying. The phrase itself.
I have no opinion on your observation. Let's move on beyond the weather chat, because I know we were just reminiscing how good the early podcasts were, how exciting they were, and here we are talking fucking weather for the last 5 minutes. So, Bill, I have we haven't done a hypothetical in a long time. We haven't done role playing in a long time. I've got kind of like a combination thing I'm just going to come up
this sounds
with on the
hot.
spot for you.
This sounds sexy. I'm taking my top off for this one.
Okay, so you are at the hospital.
Flashbacks.
You're about to see the doctor, right? Your leg is broken, you think. You're
I
not
think,
sure.
yeah.
But it looks pretty fucking broken to you. To your non-expert eye, it appears not like what it would ordinarily
Something's
look
a little
like, right?
off, you know?
Right.
I
yeah.
show up, my leg is like sideways, and I'm like, Doc, something's a little off, you know?
Right, and your nipples are glued together, and you just found out that may not be an ordinary thing either, right?
It's not?
So I'll be playing the role of the doctor, but here's what's happening. You have a condition in this situation where whenever anyone asks you any question, you say both. In fact, you say both because of your Floridian accent,
Both.
right?
Yeah. Both things. Both.
And no matter what the question is, so you're there trying to explain to the doctor what you have, right? Trying to stall the doctor so that he doesn't ask too many questions, but you just give him enough information. But if he asks,
Yeah, I'm just like talking his ear off a little bit.
a little bit, it's up to you. It's how awkward you feel about it or not, you know? Also, you aren't allowed to disclose your condition, the both condition, because it's almost like a part of your brain that you aren't aware of. It's like not only is it like a tick, right, but you are also completely unaware that you're doing it.
Yeah,
kind
like I
of.
think I'm
You know,
having
you
a
know-
normal conversation, but
You know
based
that you
off
do
of-
it. People have told you that you do it, but you don't know, you don't realize it, and also you aren't able to talk about it because it gives you flashbacks. You know, so
Yeah.
so and like the flashbacks
war.
are really fucking.
Yeah.
They're serious. Like
I just
you're
get-
in like a deep swamp.
I get
those-
I get Vietnam War flashbacks, but I've never been.
Right, and it's mixed with that, and like you're in the middle of like a swamp on like a hot day, humid, not dry heat, hot, you know, not
Yeah.
dry heat, hot,
Okay.
you know,
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
hotter than it is in London right now, you know.
It's a swamp, dude. There's no such thing as dry heat in a swamp. This doesn't exist.
But it's a very
literally
dry
water.
ass swamp.
It's literally
It's a
water.
very dry
It would
swamp.
just be a forest.
It's a dude. Can you fucking shut the fuck up and fuck off? Let me set up the
Yeah,
situation.
Sorry, dude. I'm sorry. dude.
Anyway,
I just wanted to let
God.
you know that it's kind of wet in forest. Sorry, in
yeah,
swamps.
shut up. You're talking is stop.
Yeah.
I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. I can't. We need to move on. Okay, so anyway, you get flashbacks of like a dry heat in the middle of a swamp,
Yeah.
and
desert.
you're like and you're getting electrocuted by like
Electric eels and alligators. Electric alligators.
no, electrogators,
yeah.
and
Wheel gator.
so right, and you're getting like stabbed in the ass with like a harpoon.
Yeah,
you
there's
know?
like a harpoonist, just like the dude, the Moby Dick guy, Captain Ahab, is just poking my asshole underwater because that's where he lives now, is the dry swamp.
So that's what happens when you try to like talk about your condition or explain it. So basically, you can't. I should have just said you can't explain your condition.
yeah.
but
I mean, I
wanted
wouldn't
to
have
give
questioned
you.
it, but we all would have known that's what it was. You know,
I wanted you to be method about this, and for you to be method, you also need to really understand who this character is. It's basically you with a few minor differences in terms of circumstances, right? Okay. So my name is going to be Dr. Ben and Jerry.
PhD.
I mean, I said doctor, and why do I have a PhD and not an MD?
Because you're it's a special kind of hospital.
Right, I have a PhD, but nobody knows, and I'm keeping it super secret. Because if anyone finds out I have a fucking PhD,
Yeah, you're super like secretive and self-conscious about it. Like you want to be a doctor, like an MD, but
what do
you
I have the
couldn't.
PhD in?
Ice cream. ice cream studies?
Mr. Kill,
Yes.
I presume.
Oh, both. Great start.
So how's it going?
Both. I'm like sweating really bad. Like I realize it's happening. I'm like, it's happening again.
So it seems like you're pretty troubled. Tell me why you're here.
My leg is looking a little not right. And when I say not right, it just doesn't. I think I might have broke it, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm not a doctor. I don't have an MD or anything.
Why do you think it's broken?
Fuck. Both.
All right, so hold on. Let me pull up your record.
You're not even gonna ask questions as to why I'm saying both or anything. You're just kind of okay with it.
Well, I don't judge. Well, now that you mention it, why do you say both?
Both.
Okay, I'd like to see your leg. Let's take a look at your leg.
Here you go. There's my leg right here.
All right.
Plopping it down.
Oh wow, it's tiny. It's a
That's my dick.
really small leg.
But sorry, I thought you meant my third leg.
Is your dick broken?
No. I got him.
Wait,
Oh, both.
no, that's. Oh no! So both your dick and your leg are broken. We're gonna operate on both. Don't worry. I'll make sure to note that down and inform the team of surgeons. I'm actually not gonna be one of the surgeons. I've got a PhD, not an MD. You see.
Why'd
So,
you tell me that? It's weird that you would say that to me.
I feel a special bond with you, a kinship I've never felt before in my life. You know, I've been with my wife for about 47 years, and still I feel like she doesn't get me. And yet,
That's unfortunate.
here you are, and just, I don't know. I understand you. I think I get you. Do you know what I mean?
Both.
All right, so let's take a look at the dick. The dick, we'll operate on it. You know, we'll operate on it. It looks like it's okay, but we'll operate.
You don't have to do that.
Wait, so
It's fine.
Wait, which one is broken then?
Both.
Okay, so yeah, we'll operate on
No,
both. Don't worry.
it's fine. It's fine.
We'll find what's wrong with it. So, okay, show me the leg now.
Okay, here you go.
Wow, it's tiny.
It's my leg.
But
yeah.
it looks broken. I can tell, even without a medical degree, I am able to discern this.
Okay, good.
For one, it's not pointing the right way.
You want to like X-ray it or something? You want to do something to like, get that figured out?
Well, it depends. So, like, here's the deal. There's a new school of thought that is developing in the medical field, right? So there's some people who think, hey, X-ray the leg first, right?
Yeah.
Then there's the people who say, like, hey, just kind of have a whack at the leg, and kind of try to put it back in the position you think it should be, even without a medical degree. Just kind of like, go click, click, clack until it's in the right position in your eyes.
Can I ask you a question?
And
who are you talking to that said that? Like, who's the man in charge or woman? Who's the person?
There's lots of scientific papers written on this that I could provide you with some literature on the subject later on.
Maybe
but for now,
maybe before we do it.
So anyway, so there's these two schools of thought, but there's actually a new third school of thought, which is where sort of what my opinion is personally is the best school of thought.
Tell me.
I'm spearheading it. Is have a whack at it, and then X-ray it, and continue to have a whack at it while it's being X-rayed. So, which method would you prefer?
Both.
I'm glad you're open to the idea of trying new things, and I appreciate you, Mr. Kill, because it is exactly what I wanted to hear, to be honest. You know, I needed a test subject. I've asked my patients time and time again, and they've threatened lawsuits, and they, you know, they said, "What are you talking about? X-ray me, don't do anything else."
Yeah.
But I'm glad that you're an open-minded individual.
You should actually not do that. You should just do the
So which one am I doing?
Both.
Which one should I do?
Both.
Yeah, okay. I figured.
Personally, I
should do-
think maybe the first option would be better.
I think. Wait. So do you think the first will be better?
Both.
Or okay, so both. Okay, well, say no more. I'm gonna sedate you now.
Oh,
Here we
shit.
go. Chlorophyll. Okay, so you wake up, and you're like in the same place, right?
Yeah. I'm
You
here.
wake up and so here you go. Hey, you're waking up, Mr. Kill.
Hi. Yes.
So yeah, I sedated you about 2 hours ago, and then I went to have lunch, and now I'm back ready to have a whack at your leg. So let's go. Let's do it now.
You're not gonna sedate me again? Like you're gonna have me? What was the point of sedating me?
No, I just didn't want you to be bored while I had lunch.
Okay, so-
because I wanted.
Wouldn't it make more
I wanted
sense to
to
sedate
what?
me so I don't feel any pain?
No, I was watching. No. Look. Most people have quick lunch. I like to watch a couple episodes of Grey's Anatomy and like learn a few things.
Frasier? You watch any Frasier?
No, Grey's Anatomy, because I'm trying to be a doctor. So I'm trying to like pick up on the things that I've been watching Scrubs a little bit and seeing what they do. And
Oh
like,
yeah.
oh, that's so what you should wash your hands before the surgery. Okay, cool. Anyway, so you get it. Here we are. All right, let's have a whack at your legs. Let's go.
Stop. Stop.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that looks good. Okay, so now I know you might be thinking that why did you do that to my non-broken leg? Now, the reason I did that to your good leg is because I wanted to replicate the damage that I see with your broken leg. And because I'm trying to approach it from a reverse engineering kind of school of thought. Do you understand? How can I undo the damage to your leg if... Exactly. Both of them had to be broken, right? Don't you think so? Do you think so? So yes, so both of them had to be broken because now I can undo the damage on the other one because I know how I did damage to this one. So let me undo both of them. Okay, let's go. Okay. Yeah.
God damn it.
There we go. Okay, this might. Oh, okay, this might hurt a little bit. Oh, there you go. Oh, got your nose. No, that's just my thumb. That's just my thumb. Okay, anyway. Okay, so, okay. So, the leg I broke, I undid the damage. I mean, the leg's broken, but I sort of reversed the leg formation.
Yeah.
What I failed to realize is that I didn't mirror this process for your original leg, the original broken leg. I actually copied it, and so now it's broken even more so in that other direction. Okay, so at this point, to be honest, I'm a little bit stuck. This is where my experience it comes to a halt. So what we can do here is I can either saw off one of your legs, I mean that's kind of where I'm at. I think I might want to have to saw off that leg. Would you want me to saw it off?
Both.
Okay, I mean the other leg didn't need to be sawed off, but I see where you're coming from. I like things to be equilateral, equilibrium, equal. I never went to college, but I'll just saw them off. Okay, so
you don't have
get
to
ready to be sedated.
No.
Bye. Good night. Okay, so you wake up 12 days later in the same place.
I've just been in this room for like 2 weeks.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Kill. What are you doing here?
Both.
Oh, you and your colorful way of speaking, you silver-tongued devil, you. But seriously, like, what? Do you have something you wanted to share with me?
Both.
All right, then, sure. What is it? Tell me. Speak.
You took my legs.
Let me pull up your record.
I'm sitting there without legs.
Yes, it appears that your legs were sawn off a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not clear why whoever your doctor was that day. They didn't sort of follow the protocol and update the records accordingly. So it's kind of hard to tell. It's really strange that would happen. And there is your signature there. Your signature is right there. Is this not your signature?
I didn't sign anything. Both.
Okay, so both of those papers were signed by you. Good to know. Yes, so your legs were sewn off. You feel free to bring up anything else that's bothering you now that your legs are all good.
I'm just upset because like I didn't really want you to take my legs and you did take them, and now I no longer have
which
them.
What did you? Wait, so you're
Both.
You're angry that I took your left leg, or the right one? Both. Okay,
Both.
but you wanted me to take which one instead?
Both.
Okay, so you can understand why I may be perplexed in this situation is because you're sending me mixed signals, and it's making me think like, what should I maybe saw off his right arm and that'll please him, or maybe his left one? I mean, which one? You know, what do you want me to do?
Both.
Okay, well, all right then. Sedation maneuver, go. You wake up 6 years later.
Fuck.
In the same room.
Hello? Is anyone there? I've got like a long ass beard.
Yes, hi. How can I help you?
Both.
So, what's up?
Both.
Security?
No.
I'd like you to saw this man's head off.
Fuck. Why? Why would you do this to me? I've been in here in a coma for 6 years. You took my arms and my legs.
I don't know who you are. I didn't even realize you were in this room.
Who are you?
I'm Dr. Spaghetti. I've been working at this hospital for 4 years now, and I've never noticed that you were in this room, frankly, before, and I don't even know how long you've been here or how you've managed to sustain yourself, but you are clearly an aggressive individual.
I'm not aggressive.
As far as I can tell.
I mean, I don't have arms or legs, so I don't really know what I could do to harm you.
So wait, was that a passive aggressive threat or an aggressive threat?
Both.
Security.
Fuck. No. Hear me out, man. Hear me out.
What?
I am both.
I've heard enough.
Fuck. No.
Saw this man's head off.
I'm chill. Like, we're just chilling. Everyone's just chilling. There's nothing aggressive. Okay. We're just chilling. You and me chilling. We're friends. My name is...
Are you insured?
Both.
I don't like these jokes.
It's not a joke. It's not a joke. I've lost my arms and my legs due to malpractice from someone named Dr. What was his name again? What was the guy's name?
Dr. Ben and Jerry's.
Dr. Ben and Jerry's.
Doctor, I don't believe we have a doctor like that.
Then how did I get here?
I don't know. Maybe we used to have one like that. Let me check the records.
Yeah. He took my arms and my...
Nope.
No, he wasn't a doctor. He was a PhD, so he's technically a doctor, but he's not a medical doctor.
It doesn't seem like we had anyone named Dr. Ben and Jerry's ever work at...
How did I get here? I'm so confused.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, let me just... let me prop you up on this wheelchair.
Okay.
And let me take you to the surgery where perhaps we can take a look at what's with you and see if we can help you in any way.
Why do you gotta take me to surgery?
I say surgery is just what we refer to it as. It's a different room. Don't worry.
Couldn't just take me to like a waiting room or something?
No.
Or outside?
I feel like, no, your appearance is disturbing, and I think would upset quite a lot of people because, frankly speaking, you're quite hideous in the face, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I hope you understand. Okay. So let's wheel you out of this room. So, 10 minutes later, in the basement of the hospital, some sort of secret room. Okay, here we are, and let's lock the door. And how's it going?
Both.
So let me just reveal one thing right quick. Let me pull this off. Here we go. It's me, Dr. Ben and Jerry's.
Oh my god. What the fuck, dude? Why are you wearing a mask?
Because this has all been an elaborate ploy.
Okay. Go off.
I don't know if you remember me, you stupid motherfucker, but about 20 years ago, we were out in Vietnam. I recall it was a really hot day. It was like dry heat.
In Vietnam?
It was a dry heat.
You and me?
Vietnam, in the swamp in Vietnam. And
may I ask what we were doing there?
we were on two very different missions.
Okay.
What had happened was I was just about to kill you because that was my mission, is to dispose of you. And as I started shoving my harpoon up your ass, you stumbled upon an electrigator and you shocked us both. As a result, I have had some trauma that I've been dealing with since. And I was unable to get a medical degree and instead opted for a PhD, which is so vastly inferior. And it's all your fault. And so,
how's it my fault?
The following year, I crept up on you when you were asleep, and I performed brain surgery on you. And I've wired your brain to respond to every question with both. And and then about, I don't know, like 10 years later or so, I broke your leg. Indirectly, but it led to, basically, let's just say I put a lot of things in place that would guarantee that your leg would break. And,
okay. I have a few questions after this, but go ahead. I'll let you finish.
Wait, do you want me to finish or do you want to go first?
Both.
Never gets old. So, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, here we are. I don't know how I've gotten away with this. I just wanted to give you a big old kiss and say that I forgive you.
Okay. So, I just have a few questions. I think they're pretty solid good questions. Question one.
Okay.
Why didn't you just, when you did the brain surgery on me, couldn't you have just taken my arms and legs then?
Absolutely, yes, but you wouldn't have lived the same kind of life. I wanted you to have an almost perfect life, you know, with a small hiccup, like my life, where I could have had an MD, ended up with a PhD. That hiccup cost me a lot, you know. People laugh at me when I tell them I'm a doctor, and they're like, oh, that's so cool, but then they find out it's a PhD, and they're like, dude, there's doctors of music. You're not a real doctor. What are you, Dr. Phil?
Why are you like attaching all this stuff about the electric gator to me? Because I was just there. Like I didn't do that. You were harpooning me in the ass. Like I should be upset at you for harpooning me in the ass.
I have to go.
No. I still have more questions.
Well, what are you gonna do? Stop me?
Both.
I'm walking out.
I fling my body at you, tackling you to the ground, and start biting ferociously at your jugular.
You flung quite far across the room because there's about 30 feet between us. It was a really big room.
Well, I've been training in my brain, in my coma, so my body was ready. My malnourished, should-be-dead body flew across the room, tackles you down, and starts biting at your jugular.
This experience, it reminds me of being electrocuted by the electrigator. Wait a second. Wait. Neurofibrillary tangles are responsible for the decay of the neurons, which can lead to dementia. And wait. Oh my god, I've got an MD. I now have an MD. Thank you so much. No, now you made it so that I dropped out of high school.
Yes. Finally.
Piece of shit.
Finally, my can you fix my brain, by the way?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks, man.
I don't have as much like experience anymore because you've just made me a high school dropout. But I'll figure it out. There's YouTube.
I mean, you could just like kill me if you're into that.
Will you forgive me, or should I forgive you?
Both.
The end. Bill, what did you think of that?
I thought it was good. It made me clap like a seal. A really heartwarming story. That's what we need more in America, is heartwarming tales. None of this.
I think so.
None of this liberal media, you know?
Yeah.
We need more happy-go-lucky brain surgery torture porn.
Ad time.
Ad time. How dare you talk to me like you know me?
Do you hear the ding ding bing bong sound?
Yes, I love the ding ding bing bong sound.
There's a big bong that I'm hearing and I'm loving it.
Yeah, dude, I can hear it. It sounds really good, dude. It sounds really sexy, you know? Man, I got a question for you, Rav.
Fire away.
Have you ever wanted to be a samurai from feudal Japan?
More like feudal Japan, because they stand no chance.
Me too, buddy. Me too, buddy. So I've got the perfect thing for you. So imagine this. You're a samurai. Feudal Japan. But it turns out you kind of fucking suck at being a samurai. And it's like you only really get one chance because like you get into a battle and like someone fucking fucks you up, you're dead. There's no like leeway on the samurai thing, you know?
Blade.
You're doing great, man. You're really adding a lot to this, dude. I'm glad that there's no blay on the blamurai thing. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, like, what if we could give you something that just like kind of give you an edge in your samurai showdowns?
Wedge.
Yeah, man. So I'm just throwing something at you. This is just something, you know. This is just something you can if you like it, you can take it. If you don't, you can throw it right back. It's an Anchorman quote.
Okay.
Okay. So you're on the battlefield. Shut the fuck up. So you're on the battlefield, and you see your arch nemesis, Akuma. That's his name. He's not affiliated with a Street Fighter character, but his name is Akuma. And he's got a big ass, sexy mask on, and he's got a big ass. Yeah, he's super thick. He's like hot, and he's got so many bitches, you know, because he's hot. And everyone's like, oh man, I want to suck his dick. You know, everybody, you're even thinking about it. You're like, yeah, I want to suck his dick.
Fuck yeah,
but you
man.
don't want to
That's
let him know.
Rival.
You don't want to let him know that you want to suck his dick, because that's, you know.
No, because he's my rival and he's like my nemesis.
But you like respect him and want to fuck, you know, like real bad. Okay? Mm-hmm. But he's got a big ass sword, like way bigger than a samurai should have, and he's throwing that thing around like it's nothing, just like he throws his dick around with your mom and wife. Okay. So how do you stop him? How do you put a stop to this man? I got one answer for you, buddy. That's right.
Okay.
An AR-15. So
hell yeah.
So this week we're sponsored by just AR-15s in general. Just put an AR-15 in your hands, you'll just mow down 1,000 Akumas, and he won't be fucking your wife and spouse and also mom and also spouse mom, whatever. I don't know what you're fucking into, bro. I don't know, but you could take him down one shot. You know?
What if he like sneaks up on me?
No one's sneaking up on somebody with an AR-15. Them shits look scary. They're actually scarier looking than they actually are effective.
Would you go into the technology behind this, but in excruciating detail? I wanted to really inform me.
In the most basic sense, guns work like this. A bullet is loaded into the rear of the barrel, which is a tube connected to the firing pin. What happens mechanically when you pull the trigger is that the firing pin is released. It flies forward, striking a tiny explosive charge located in the base of the bullet. That explosion ignites the gunpowder, which is tucked inside of the shell casing inside the bullet.
How much does it cost?
The pressure change forces the bullet out of the casing and down the barrel towards the target.
Someone pass me that.
Admittedly, a rapid evolution of guns
How do I load this
makes
thing?
it hard to look at them.
I'm pulling the trigger. Oh wow, it is pretty effective. Now, although Bill is not my nemesis or a samurai from feudal Japan named Akuma, I got to see that it was fairly effective on him, so why wouldn't it be effective on Akuma? I'm gonna get you, Akuma. So wow, this is really good. It's very practical, right, Bill? There's like lots of uses to it that, like, for instance, if like let's say I'm gonna throw some situations at you. It's okay. Before you die, I'm gonna throw some situations at you, and you're gonna tell me how the AR-15 can help.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got like tofu stuck between my teeth.
Okay.
I gotta get it out. What if somebody sees it and thinks, wow, he got tofu in his teeth?
You gotta take them out before they see it.
How do I do it?
Pull the trigger on him. It's common sense, man. It does all the work for you. You just gotta point and click.
I'm at a train station. I'm late for my train. My train's about to like set off, and it sets off right before me. Like I see it's moving, and I'm like, fuck, I missed my train. And what do I do in this situation? How do I I see it moving. It's right next to me, but
Mama,
what do I do?
Mama, I see you, Mama.
Thank you for our sponsors for today's wonderful and wholesome product. I love it. If you want a discount, type in I see you, Mama, on AR.15. Thank you. // forward slash Dame Dash slash Bart Simpson. Gotta love a good sponsor. It's kind of like, I guess it kind of sucks that Bill's gone now, but like I've seen lots of people do like one-man podcasts, and maybe this will in fact help incentivize me to find guests, because we haven't been looking for guests, up until now, because I enjoy Bill's company. I'm not out here like, I gotta find who in the hell would do a podcast with us. But now that I'm all by myself, I'm like, who the hell? I'm thinking to myself, because like Bill's gone, he's dead. So it is what it is, though. I don't like to advocate lingering on the past. The past is the past. It's past. You can learn from it. It's important to not turn a blind eye to it. It should inform your foresight. That being said, you can't live within it, You have to exist in the moment, striving forward, but existing in the now. And so that's what I'm going to do with this We Don't Suck podcast. I guess I'm going to have to rename it I Don't Suck, which is fine. It doesn't really change much. I'm going to ask Sharky to design something real cool for me, where it's like maybe a blend of me and Bill's designs together in some sort of cool way. I also need to find a way to redirect all of Bill's streaming profits to my account. It's just because I know that's what he would want. I guess I'm going to have to find a way to just redirect that to me. Again, not because necessarily like, I don't think his family should have it, or his girl should have it, or his dog should have it. It's just, I feel like, I created Bill in my image. I remember fondly the day when I cloned him from the poo stain that I found on my curtains in the kitchen. I get freaky. And so I send that to clone.org, and they were like, yeah. They cloned him, but they were like, would you like to change him a bit? And I was like, a few things, And it's kind of like with Skyrim, you start the game, you're like, I don't really care what I look like, fuck it. But then like you end up spending half an hour trying to fine tune the various facial features and stuff. And so I kind of ended up doing that, and there we have, Bill. I could always clone another one, but again, you can't keep living in the past. Sometimes you got to move forward, and that's what I'm gonna do. I was thinking about launching my own YouTube channel separately from Chibi Chubby. Have like a small idea for the kind of content I'd maybe do. It would be very irregular, as in like it wouldn't be daily content, not even necessarily weekly content. Maybe it'd be monthly, or something like that, or basically once in a blue moon. But I have some ideas that I've sort of entertained in my head, and they seem like they'd be fun to try out. So maybe that's what I ought to do, give that a go. And I think that could be fun. Yeah, fun times. I had something I wanted to say. Oh yeah, so like the time of me recording this podcast, it would have been the second day with no new content on Chibi Chubby, because we're kind of like struggling to keep up in terms of the editing and producing new content and, releasing it. But it's okay. I'm trying to not be, I'm trying to not be mad at myself about it. So yeah, so all of those things I just said are valid. and interesting. And thank you for listening. Continue to listen as I continue to speak. God, this podcasting shit is so easy, man. I don't even know why I've been doing it with Bill and not on my own. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, now I don't have him slowing me down with like, okay, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Like, let me just quickly give you a role play of like me trying to shine and Bill shutting me down, right? Like not allowing me to shine. It's like, hey, Bill, how's it going? You know? And I'm just like, wow, like, okay, don't ask me about my day. Okay? I get it. Cool. Oh, you're having a tough day? Okay, cool. Well, I have stuff going on in my busy schedule too, and you never ask me. So it's shit like that. And it's like, it really, my self-esteem has always been an obstacle in a sense. You know, it's like, it's hard to be confident when your friend is sort of like pulling shit like that day to day, you know? And so in a sense, like, although I miss him and I could always clone another as I cloned him initially, it's just, I feel like it's time to shake things up, you know? It's time to shake things up. I could do so much with this podcast on my own. I could... Whoa! Oh!
Whoa!
Those fucking neighbors are pissing me off. Sounds like they're having sex again. I fucking hate it.
Rab,
Hey, why don't you quiet down there?
Rab, this isn't your neighbors. This is the ghost of Bill.
Yeah, okay, it didn't work last time and it's not gonna work again.
The ghost of Bill, for real. I know your darkest secrets that you told me.
Yo, at least if you're gonna do this shit again, maybe you guys could try to pull up, I don't know, a new script? Jesus, man, I swear to God.
Can't stop watching Channel Awesome in the year 2020.
Sorry, I just came. What are you guys saying up there?
Fuck. Rav, I've come from the grave, beyond the grave.
Okay, I'll play along. Whoa, Bab. Welcome back, Bill.
The podcast kind of sucks without me.
I kind of disagree. I don't know. I just, Bill, ghost of Bill. Anyway, yeah, sure. Yeah, the podcast is ass without you, Bill. Damn, dude. Yeah, man. Fuck, man. It really sucks.
I know.
If only you were alive. If only I cloned another me again.
Yeah.
From the fecal matter I found on my kitchen curtain through clone.org.
I'm not gonna ask any questions about that. It feels like I don't need to know.
Yeah, Bill always talked like a fucking, I don't know what some sort of fucking imbecile.
Ooh.
Why are you talking like this, ghost of Bill?
Because the spirit world made me this way. I have changed.
Are you supposed to be like Dracula?
No, I'm a ghost. Ooh.
I have 3 STDs. 1, 2, 3. That's what you sound like.
One day you will be just like me. Dead.
You sound like a bad impression of a vampire.
Everyone
At least put on some sort of like
this
accent.
in hell. That's why it's hell.
Sounds awful. What do people sound like in heaven?
More like this.
Ah, shit.
Hell isn't
Sounds like
that
heaven.
bad. Actually, it's all a ruse.
So Bill, if you are in hell, what are you doing here? Talking to me like my neighbor does.
I've come to tell you to hang up the podcast if you don't have Bill, or maybe resurrect me or something.
I guess you know what, neighbor? With all these goofs and gaffs, you did remind me I do have that, Bill revival button in my pocket.
I mean, that sounds pretty good.
But I'm not convinced I should use it. I mean, I could always just use it some other time. I could maybe like knock out 20 podcasts without him and then have him like come back for sort of special episode like 127.
I mean, this doesn't sound that bad.
As a guest.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't have to edit it anymore.
Oh, fuck. Wait, with Bill dead, does that mean I'm gonna have to edit the podcast again?
Yes.
Okay, fuck that. Pressing this button. I'm pressing it.
Oh, man, dude, I'm so glad to be back alive. It was really bad. Hell was awesome.
Hey, man, it's real good to have you back. There's nothing quite like Bill, like a real Bill. You're the real deal, Bill.
Yeah, dude. What all happened while I was gone? Like, it was just like all a big blur. Like, what happened while I was gone?
Just some fun podcast stuff. You don't need to worry about it. Really, it's all good. It's fine. Like,
dude, who's that over there, dude? Hey.
That's my neighbor over the wall. They've been mocking me.
Keep it down in there. I'm trying to fuck.
Yeah, they do this thing where they're loud and then they pretend to be your ghost. But this time around, they gave me a good idea as to why I should bring you back from the dead. And
cool.
Yeah.
I mean, cool. Sorry, I wanted to just get in on the fun,
Yeah, dude, I get it. That's real cool. Bill. At time.
No. Last time I died. I died at ad time.
Oh, it's okay. Ad time never. No, reverse the reversal of the ad time. Ad time.
What are you talking about, dude?
Is that the sound of a helicopter getting closer and closer? And oh my God, it's so close! Okay, it's gone. It just disappeared suddenly.
Man,
cool.
please don't make me do more work than I have to. I'm just incredibly lazy as it is, and you're just putting a lot of workload on me.
So, Bill, you ever thought to yourself, "Damn, my teeth! I wish they were
gummy bears." Yes.
No, you wish they were straighter. Straight.
Okay,
teeth.
well that's a little bit homophobic, but sure.
I'm saying, have you ever wished for that?
No, I haven't. That's why my teeth are kind of crooked. Homophobe.
Let's say you wished for that. You're like, oh, I wish my teeth were hetero.
Yeah. Let's say.
Let's say you wanted that, right? But you're like, but I don't like braces because, like, okay, you don't have problems with like the metal kind of like the lace thing. It's more so the individual little brace bits. Let's call them that.
I always chew on them. Yeah, it's true.
It just sucks. They're not tasty. They're real hard and like annoying. Introducing Tofu Braces.
Yummy.
It's just tofu instead of the braces.
Does it keep your teeth straight, or like what's the deal with that?
It is not a homophobic product, so no, Bill. Wow, can't believe you're so intolerant. Anyway, moving on, guys. Gosh,
Yeah.
let me hold on 1 second, guys. Let me just pull out the AR-15 and. It's okay. We can always bring him back later. So anyway, we've killed Bill the homophobe. Oh wait, he's still alive. Hold on. Okay, so we'll bring him back later, guys. Don't worry. I've still got the button. Oh fuck! I dropped it somewhere. It's okay. Well, we'll find it. Well, it's somewhere in this room. So yes. So Bill the homophobe demonstrated to us why this world has a lot to learn still. And I'm happy to say that with Tofu Braces, as humanity, we are taking one step in the right direction. Absolutely. And not the right direction that Bill would like the world to go in, as in the far right direction. We're talking about like a more tolerant direction in the world. One where hopefully people like Bill will, you know, wake up or learn or just cease to exist. Anyway, so thank you to AR-15 for sponsoring the Tofu Braces. I can't believe you guys gave us 2 ads on this episode. It's been great. And yeah, thank you. Hope to have more financial sex with you, so to speak. It's a business term. All right, let's bring Bill back to life.
Oh, Jesus Christ, please stop doing this to me. It is worse every time I go through the afterlife. This is like the 6th time this year.
Yeah, it's all right, man. Don't worry. I won't do it again.
Thanks.
Yeah, you didn't miss much.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad that it was kind of uneventful.
We just got our second ad out.
We got another ad? Seriously? Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah, right before you die, you must.
Right before the trauma, yeah.
I haven't ever really checked the emails. I remember early on at the start of the We Don't Suck podcast, we had a few people reach out to us for ads. We never got back to them. And then there were a few more. And then I stopped checking emails completely. Because it was just no one approached us where I was like, oh yeah, I'm like, this is the product. I may be wrong. Again, I don't know if I checked all the emails. So if you reached out with a dope ass product,
like one person I remember talking to, but like we never really like fleshed it out further than just like the original conversation. And it was like coffee. It was a coffee thing. But I also didn't want to I didn't want to accidentally endorse something like independent that's like maybe not good for the environment or like workers.
Right, exactly. And exactly. So that's something we've also been very try to be very cautious about.
So we got AR-15 instead.
But we've never tried reaching out to anyone or doing the research, and it's probably unwise. But it's just been
it's just kind of like I always wonder, like, would it kill the bit? Like if we had real ads? Like, could we do fake ads too?
I feel like I see what you're saying. I think if we did get real ads, I would have preferred if it were with people that would give us some leeway in terms of creativity.
I want to get like a manscaping. I get ads for manscaping all the time. I guess they want me to shave my dick.
Manscaping?
No, manscaping.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, manscaping. That's the other ads that we don't talk about on here.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we ought to reach out to a few with like proposals, like, but this is how we would do it.
Like just fart a whole bunch. Like, hey, yeah, so this is how we would do it. Dollar Shave Club. Like that.
Oh shit, chat.
Chat's listening.
Boggers in the chat. That's a good idea, man. Hoot to that. Because I listen to a lot of podcasts on Spotify. Do you listen to any podcasts?
I used to listen to more. I feel like because like ever since I broke my leg, I haven't really listened to any because like I usually listen to podcasts like when I'm driving or when I'm like bored in the house doing another thing. You know what I mean? Like it's like just playing in the background. So like I haven't like sat down and like listened to podcasts in the same way because like I don't drive.
What are your go-to podcasts?
I fuck with Last Podcast on the Left is probably like my favorite just because it's like a good one to like it's like a true crime / kind of horror podcast, but it's humorous. It's got Henry Zabrowski from Adult Swim and Marcus Parks and Ben Kissel, who are all fucking hilarious. Then I like a Joe Budden podcast.
Yes.
Because I like hearing him yell. I listened to, there was like a really good true crime one. I can't remember the name of it that Jordan was listening to, but it was like The Clearing. That was it. That's a really good one. It's serious. And that's pretty much it. Like in terms of ones I actually listen to on Spotify, like sometimes I'll like listen to Joe Rogan just because like it's funny.
He has really good guests sometimes.
Yeah, he'll have like really good guests sometimes, but like I'm not like I'm not like a Joe Rogan head, but sometimes he'll have like a good guest or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
But like it's not like something I come to a lot. But I will watch him talk about chimps for hours.
Yeah, and whenever he's had cool people. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. He's had.
So he had Dawkins.
Greg.
He's
Greggy.
had Professor Brian Cox. So there's like.
Cox. What about you, man?
So yeah, a bit of Rogan. I probably in the same amount as you do. As I said, I have like whenever there are scientists on that I like or interested to hear from, then I'll tune in. Then my favorite podcast is probably Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend.
Damn, I didn't even know that it existed.
It's amazing.
I love Conan.
Oh man, the episode with Stephen Colbert is great.
I bet.
They riff off one another very well. It's really good. It's like, you know, Conan is best sort of himself, unfiltered, and not in front of a massive audience. Not that he's bad in that kind of setting, but I just really like... We're basically, guys, we're giving you recommendations to better podcasts here. Let's see.
Yeah.
On occasion, I like Armchair Expert. That's Dax Shepard's podcast. I do like the Joe Budden podcast sometimes, on occasion. I have enjoyed... I want to get into Chris Broad's podcast. He runs the YouTube channel Abroad in Japan. I feel like I'd be curious to hear what his podcast is like, because I like his content. Super Mega Cast.
Oh yeah, I don't know why I forgot about the Super Mega Cast.
No, it's too late. You didn't include it. It's gone. You hate him.
Well, I feel like because we're just so closely associated, I think people just know that we are somewhat interested in their podcast since we've been on it twice now.
I've liked the one of the latest ones I listened to was it was the first time where they recorded separate from one another.
Oh yeah.
One of them was in South Carolina, wasn't in LA, in LA, and they talked about at the beginning how strange it was and how maybe it'll be bad and how it's not ideal, and that they'll talk on top of one another, and sometimes they did interrupt one another. And all I could think to myself was fuck off, you assholes, you pieces of shit. Yeah, this is how we always do our podcasts.
Yeah, dude, keep up. We don't need to be some pussy boys sitting in a room together. What do you think we are? Some kind of pussy boys sitting in a room together?
It's the same when I watched Game Grumps, when they started shooting their Let's Plays from separate locations. I was like, yo, yeah, it's hard. Yeah, that's right. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Sorry, I just had to get that out.
I will say there is an element of, especially with the Let's Plays, where it's it's definitely challenging. In terms of just keeping up conversation the same way that you would as if someone was in the room with you. It is definitely more challenging. And
well, I mean, they do an amazing job. Don't get me wrong; they actually do great. They were just also oh, this might not work very well, or blah blah blah, and then they're oh wow, it's just you can barely tell that they're not in the same room.
Yeah. It's I think it's definitely it's
what
easier.
We're saying is what we do is easy as hell, and we have no talent or skill.
Dude, Dan Avidan, more like Scam Avidan. And Aaron Hansen, more like Aaron, not a fanson. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, Bill, I need you to stop podcasting.
Why?
So, Tiger Belly, on occasion, I'll listen to Tiger Belly, and also This Past Weekend, which is Theo Vaughn's.
I like Theo Vaughn.
Yeah, like Theo Vaughn and Tiger Belly is Bobby Lee's podcast, which I also enjoy, and I've listened to a few Bad Friends episodes, which I've enjoyed. It's Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino's podcast together.
I've only seen like clips of, because I like watching the clips, like the highlights of the Bobby Lee stuff, especially when he's with Theo. Like I like watching those.
They're so good together. Whenever Theo Lee was on, Theo Vaughn was
Theo
on.
Lee that's when they fuse, bro.
That's when you ship them.
Yeah.
Theo Vaughn was on Tiger Belly again recently, like last month, I think, or 2 months ago, and it was amazing. It was so good. It's always so good. It's the thing I like about like comedians doing podcasts is because I feel like sometimes they do better in that environment than even on stage. Sometimes it's just like vibing off of one another and not under pressure in front of hundreds of people. I mean, you're doing it for millions of people, but it's not the same kind of pressure. And there's like one point in the podcast, they're talking Kalila, which is who is Bobby Lee's girlfriend. She just out of nowhere asks, when you guys ever pull worms out of your butt when you're a kid, you know? And Bobby Lee goes, babe, wait, what? Stop. That what? And then Theo Vaughn goes, no, but I respect you and I respect all women. And that had me dying how fast he responded, and just like straight face. He's like, no, but I respect you and I respect all women.
That's just so funny, dude.
It's so good. They're so in their element. I love
Here's
that
something to talk about too. One of my favorite things ever to watch from a perspective of like, this is fucking horse shit, is like, have you seen, I feel like we've talked about this before. Have you seen that it's like a YouTube channel that like finds moments that they think are like tense moments in podcasts, and then
I hate this fucking channel.
Yeah, and then they'll like break down like, oh, as you see here,
what happened here is Bill Burr is being dominant. But, however, Bobby Lee is going to point his genitals towards Kalila because he wants help from her. But she is smitten with Bill Burr's smelly,
I think there's like certain like aspects of that where there's like some kind of truth to it, but it's on like a baser instinct level and not like a real life level. Like I think like obviously like there are like movements that you can make with your hands that like assert dominance and like an energy level, like but that doesn't really mean anything. Like
no, and the reason why it doesn't work with a lot of those comedians is because a lot of it is like they're putting on a show. They're like sometimes they assume roles based off of the kinds of comedy that they have, you know?
Well, that was what I was going to bring up, because there's that one episode with Bobby Lee and Theo, and it's like they keep implying that Theo is trying to like impress Bobby Lee's girl and like steal her. Kalila. And like the whole thing is like you watch this whole thing, and then like the thing that's so good about it is like you can tell that it's a bit, but they're committing so hard to it that it looks like real if you break it down like that. And that's why they're so good at what they do. Like together, their chemistry, they know each other well enough to like, they could like press each other's buttons, but like not really. You know what I mean? And it's just like really funny. And like it's such a commitment to the bit. And then when you watch it and like there's people out there like this person who was like, oh, this wasn't even a bit. And I'm like sitting here like it's like the funniest bit of the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
Totally
it's like it's so funny. Like that's why I like Bobby Lee so much, is because he looks legitimately mad. Like when he's in bit mode. Do you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like that whole thing. Yeah. He like put it on so well, and it made the whole situation really fucking funny. But like there was like just so many people. Yeah. You know?
He's really good at it, and Theo Vaughn's really good at pulling a straight face. Like when he needs to, you know, and not laughing about things. So it's these dynamics work. It's like, imagine, I would love in an alternate dimension our podcast would also be on YouTube where we're on camera together. You know, I would love to have that. And maybe even later down the road, we'll do that. Maybe one day we could do that. Even if we're in 2 separate countries, maybe we could have some sort of setup where it's like it works, a 2-camera system that works. And that visual added effect would be, in my opinion, would be great.
Mm-hmm. I think that like even if it's like not a regular thing, it would be cool like if we did another thing like where we went to LA for a month or went to somewhere for a few weeks or something like that. Like it would be cool and worth like setting up something like that just to do, even if it's like a temporary special thing, because like I love looking at like people on podcasts and seeing the visual aspect of it. I know there's like certain elements of it then that are changed because like our podcast is so edit heavy and we're used to like being able to control the timing of things.
Yeah.
But I also think there's something to be said. Like, I think that we have like a real life chemistry in person that doesn't necessarily transfer via. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I think that we're pretty good with timing.
I know
and
what
stuff
you mean.
like
And
that.
also because we're in separate places, you do have to account for the lag, and certain humor won't work between us the same way, you know.
Yeah.
If we were in the same room, we wouldn't talk over one another, and we'd be able to kind of have our own individual ways of signaling to each other that we're about to do it in a way that maybe no one else would understand, but we kind of get it, right? Like if I flash my cock, Bill knows.
Yeah, I'm gonna suck your dick. Yeah, like it's like you just like,
yeah, right. But what I was gonna say was that imagine we do that, and then somebody like analyzing it, like, "Yo, when we hear Bill is like he moved his legs together because he's scared Rav's about to insert," you know, and it's just like.
I
Yeah,
really
but we're
like-
like playing characters.
I love the idea that Bill Burr is like some kind of fucking like serial fucking dominator.
I mean, he can be a jackass like to people, but that's like kind of like also part of his persona, right?
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's funny, but kind of ridiculous. Also, Bill, I just had an idea for a podcast. I say just. I've had this idea for a long time, and I keep forgetting it, and now I've just remembered it. So we should do it next time.
Okay.
But it could be like a little spoof or something for people to look forward to. So we do a podcast. Next one, we do an episode where we have alcohol next to us. And every time one of us says like, that person has to drink
I'm
a shot.
dead, bro. I'm dead.
Dude, we're both dead. I listen back to a lot of our shit, and me pointing this out is going to make people more like hyper aware of it. Like I just said like 3 times just there, that whole sentence. And it's tough, and I kind of want to push it out of my lexicon a little bit.
Yeah.
And I mean, for me, also, I say a lot. I go, but like I use a lot.
I used to cut out a lot of my likes, but now I don't because I'm just kind of fuck it, you know? But that's what I mean when I say like and I can't stop saying it. And it's because, you know what I think it is? I think my brain processes things faster than my mouth can go. That's what it feels like. And do you see how I'm talking slower right now? Is because I'm trying not to say like.
But that's what I'm saying. We need to do that. We need to imagine a whole episode where we actively do it. And then if it works out, maybe we'll make it a general rule and we'll call each other out. And if we fail to call the other out, then they get to just get that one. You know, they don't get to drink unless the other person catches them in the act, because this could really help us, I feel.
But there's certain times when I analyze it because I say stuff like, I feel like. I just used it twice, but is there
that's
another
fine.
way to say
that's different.
but yeah, okay, so just using
I'm
it
not
in
saying
a sense
completely
of not,
removing like, right,
anytime you
using
say
it exactly as a filler.
as a filler word, okay.
Right, if you're just going and then I like Shaggy, talking like Shaggy or a Valley Girl.
Yeah, I've definitely got like Valley Girl, there it goes, Valley Girl tendencies, because since I was young, and I always thought the word like was cool because all the people, I was like really into like rock music and shit. And all those people that I listened to use the word like that. And so my mom always said, stop saying it. It makes you sound dumber, which it kind of does. Like, you see what I mean? Like, it's just like a spot. It's an or an
Imagine a scientist giving you like a presentation on some sort of like amazing discovery. I just, you know, and it's mind blowing and it's brilliant and interesting, and he just keeps throwing like in there, in between, and then like, and it probably wouldn't take away from necessarily the.
It would just not sound as intelligent.
It just wouldn't, yeah, exactly, and it wouldn't sound as convincing, or I don't know. Like I feel, and I just used it again. I feel that I could do better in terms of my speech, and that I need to stop saying and like, and you know, just trying to see if I can force myself to reduce the amount of times I say that, or I kind of revert to saying that consciously, and over time hopefully uncondition that habit of mine, and become a better public speaker. Hopefully, as a result, who knows? That could be good. The podcast could be 10 times better if we remove the filler. I bet if we removed likes, every episode would be half the time in length.
I already take out a lot of my you knows, and I know why I say you know more on the podcast, because there's lag, and I'll say something and then there'll be like, I know there's going to be a space there, like a slight space that wouldn't normally be there, right. And my brain just goes, you know how many times I take out the phrase you know at the end of something that doesn't need to be there. I'm talking about every podcast I take out. Maybe it's because I'm hypercritical of myself, because I'll hear you talk and I'll be like, that's normal. It sounds normal when you say it. But then when I say it, I'm like, oh, there's fucking a lot.
I was going to say, because I don't think you remove my instances. And for me, it was the other way around. When I used to edit the podcast, I wouldn't pick up on strange habits from you. You know, I'd just be like, oh, he talks like Bill normally talks. And then for me, I'd be like, oh, damn, I'm saying, you know what I mean? Know what I'm saying? You know, these kinds of things. And when I was younger, I used to say like, I mean, or like, I'm saying. I say,
yeah, mean.
And now it's just.
I feel like ya mean should be allowed. Ya mean should just be allowed, or na mean should be allowed.
I said na mean. Yeah, but
it sounds fine to me, and it's fine.
But like now, it's kind of evolved into you know. That's kind of like, that's become it's evolved from na mean to you know, and. I remember when I was editing the podcast, I was also hyper fixating on that. Like, damn, I have so many go-to filler words and little habits, vocal habits, and I wish I could get rid of them, and I would edit them out, and it was...
We both do the...
it's a pain in the ass.
When we're about to talk and the other person's talking and you're waiting on it, we both do the... that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That shit is the funniest. When you're editing it, it's the funniest thing. It's just
funny, dude. It
sounds like you're on the edge of your seat, about to just like bust. You know, like I'm talking now. I'm talking.
Yeah. I'll edit in front of Joe, and she would never notice it. Just listening to it without the editing, it sounds fine. But when you solo it out and then just hear someone going like, it sounds like The Grudge, like, You know what I mean? It's so funny.
It sounds like, what am I, a creature? I remember when I first started editing the podcast and everything, I was like, am I some sort of fucking weird creature that just... Also, like, sometimes I'd be anticipating your joke and I'd want to follow it up immediately, and that's where instead of I would do the same sound, but you could tell I'm smiling and I'm excited.
Yeah,
so it's like and it's just like I sound like No Face. You know, and
it's so funny. It's funny because I think that's the only time you'll ever notice those like vocal tics that people have, because everyone has a thing that, like, a sound they make that is unique to them, and it's not like something you could put into words. It's just everyone has like a little thing, or maybe like the way their consonant sound. And I was like looking at this whole thing on like linguistics and accents the other day. It was a person doing different accents and how to do those accents. Have you ever watched any of those videos?
I don't know if I've watched specifically the channel you're referring to.
No,
but
I mean,
I've
just in
always
general.
been interested in linguistics in general. So yeah, I've seen some linguistics.
I think the accent
videos.
stuff is really interesting though, because it's like the way you hold your tongue in your mouth determines how certain accents go. Like people, there's one that like I still can't get is like Australian. I still can't get the no or the o sound down, where it's like no.
Yeah.
I can't. It sounds like I'm Nigel Thornberry having a fucking orgasm. No. Hey, no.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
I'm aware of some of these because I was trying to in Russian, there's these two vowels that sound quite similar to a lot of people who aren't Russian. It's E and U, right? And
I like that one.
and it's like, and the latter one, U.
It's great.
It sounds like a caveman poking at it something, right? Like yeah. So
It's poking
the
at
way
his
to
dick.
say
He's
it,
pointing at his dick going,
but, okay, but try to so say E. Say E. Now try to say U. So you see, you're it's close but not close enough. Now I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help. Oh, that's pretty close. It's basically letters like E. The letter is very similar to E. So try to form your mouth as if you're about to say E, like you're smiling, like doing a cheese thing. You're
like
about
I look
to say
crazy.
E.
I look crazy.
Hold
right
your
now.
teeth, but force your breath to push out ooh. But your mouth is shaped as E. Do it again. Yeah, there you go.
It
That's how
sounds
you
like
do
I'm
it.
having a stroke.
Yeah, it's like it's the. I mean, I'm giving you a shortcut to the quickest way to try to reproduce that sound. Obviously, it's not going to be exactly the same as if you were born already accustomed to those syllables and sounds, but it is interesting, right? It is kind of curious.
It's like Asian people like with like L sounds because they don't have the L in their they don't use the L.
No, that's just Japanese.
Just Japanese? See, I don't know things.
Because in different countries, there's different ones. So in China, it's the other way around, and like Vietnamese, there's like a different sort of mixture of letters. So it depends from, it's not a continental thing so much as it is from
Well, just imagine
one language to
being
another.
Japanese and never having the like R. No, sorry, L.
Well, I know.
But just like imagine
They
never
don't have
having
really
that.
either. The R is the close. They have more so like a. Okay, so if you write love, like the English word love in Japanese, it's written the exact same way as you would write Rav.
Yeah.
So when I study Japanese, my teacher will always be like, "Oh, your name is Love. That's so funny," Mm-hmm. And Rav would be lovey-dovey because Rabu means lovey-dovey.
Oh.
So, and it's interesting because they don't have really a distinction between a V or a B, sort of, and they don't really have a distinction between an L and R per se.
Yeah.
And they don't have as many, like we have A is like, can be ah, or it can be and then we have U, which could be not ooh necessarily, like bug,
Yeah.
right?
The English language just doesn't make any fucking sense. Like if you try, if you do it
Right,
on
so there's
paper,
a lot of right. Whereas
show
in
someone
Japanese,
knife or knock, and they're just like, "What the fuck?"
yeah, exactly. Well, actually, I'm glad you brought up knock. It's an O sound. It's an O letter, but it's knock. Nuts. It's U, but it's nuts. Apple, but then scrap or there's so many sounds which is like, where does that fall into phonetically? And in Japanese, their syllables, in terms of like the vowel endings, is usually I, E, U, E, O, And they do what they are. Like I will always be I, E will always be E, U will always be U, and O will be always be O, etc. Whereas in English, it's like, it depends where the letter is, and then, it depends how we feel on the day. English has a lot of weird things, like traveling is spelled with one L.
Yeah.
But a lot of other words like travel that also end on L, when verb turns into a verb, have double L's and stuff like that. So there's lots of things that don't really make sense.
I also think like color, like it makes sense in British speak to say it with the O-U-R, because the way we say it, we're like color. listen here, we're gonna
Color.
color. And it's like
Color. I don't know. The English people say different. Like there's more British accents than there are American accents. So I don't think the justification really works. It's just that you maybe the British people picked it up, or the English language picked it up from the French maybe initially, and the Americans were like, "Fuck out of here! We ain't having none of that baguette language in our English. We're taking them out. We're taking all of you."
That's how people talk here.
You know, like, we're not having any more. We're taking the U out of hamburger. It's just going to be hamburger.
Why does every American sound like a prospector in your head?
Okay.
There's gold in them there hills. Coloring is not how you spell it.
Hey, listen here, okay? We're going to take out all the U's from the language because we don't want that around here.
Because I'm Joey
Listen
Wheeler.
up, okay?
I'm Joey Wheeler.
I'm not having any of that. No more U's in hamburger. I'm going to say hamburger, and that's it. And I don't need nobody to tell me how to speak. So there you go. Not a prospector this time.
Yeah, it sounds like Joey Wheeler with some kind of weird Irish thing going on when he says hamburger.
Yeah, because the French people will say hamburger, you know.
I love that. I love that. That sounds gross.
It sounds gross a little
Sounds
bit.
like real,
It says
there's like they're breathing on that hamburger when they give it to you.
It sounds like, you know, like somebody's dying and they're like, who killed you? And like their brain's shutting off and they're like, the last thing as their last breath exits their mouth is just hamburger.
I just imagine like if a U.S. waiter brings you a hamburger and says, "Here you go. Here's your hamburger." You'd be like not offended. However, if a Frenchman came over with a hamburger on a platter and was like, "Here is your hamburger," and then you just know there's bacteria coming out of that mouth and landing on that hamburger, and it's just all over it, and then you're gonna die of a French disease.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the British person comes over and is like, "Here's your biscuit. Here's your biscuit
in it."
It's a biscuit. A biscuit in a patty and another biscuit.
And they're just spitting with their bees.
Biscuit.
They're
All right,
biscuits. I just spit all
Bill,
over my room.
We need an exit strategy out of this podcast because I just realized we could talk and talk.
Longest. Is this the longest podcast we've ever gone? Is this no?
It might be, but like that whole like part where we were doing the sketch, who knows? Maybe you could cut it down or cut it out completely, and this still would be over an hour long.
Yeah,
so,
it's a pretty long one. Let's just keep talking for a little bit, and I'm just not going to edit from this point on. Just you know.
Okay, yeah, let's just talk. Well, okay, I mean, might as well just open up about the most important thing in my life then, you know?
Yeah, dude, I think it's time we go ahead and get going, I think. You know, hit that dusty old trail, you know?
You don't...
I think it's time to hit that dusty old trail, Rav.
I was going to say...
dusty old trail, Rav!
That's not true.